imports here in the azimuth when we try to do this update azimuth thing. It's not action, it's action taken. And we could actually have an action space. I know it sounds stupid. Action space. I hate doing it, but if we do like action state and then it just define sure, it'll have an action and a state. So it's it's a bit confusing, but the action state is the action taken, and the condition is the state of the agent. And we'll put that here and here actually, in case we, either way we look at it. Params. State equals the action. Condition equals state. So there's a little bit of overlap here. And then when we update, we just say define update action state. And let's actually leave this and then just say to do move this to the calling function. Self is not defined. Yeah, I'm sure you don't have any of these other things needed that we need here. But that's because this action space is part of the azimuth now too. Action state. So state and the condition that don't exist now. So we'll move these. So the action taken will be action state. So we'll have to do action state. And then the condition is the actual state. Oh shit. Oh wait. I'm like tripping. Okay. I was thinking about keeping this as a parameter. It doesn't really matter if we do inheritance or not. We don't have to do inheritance. We could say, we could do this here like this. This becomes action state. equals action state, and then it's actually just would be action. So the action state is the action taken. In our case, that would be action undefined. And state random. So state now lives here. That's not right though. Action and state. It's actually state and condition. What? Action and state. So look at this. Action and state. It does actually take in an action and a state. But we have it as state and condition. Maybe it just won't let us do that. Let's I mean, we could call it state and condition, and that would update the parameters here that we see, state and condition. So the state is the action. Maybe that's getting confusing. See, my thought is then we could call self.action.state, which would be an action, and then the condition would be a state. No, that's not right. Because it's actually the other way around. It really is, because this action is what we determine. So actually, if we go here, we can call this stateful action. And at that point, stateful action.py. So both of these are converging. This actually makes a lot of sense, I think. We have an action enum, we have a state enum. State gives us color, gives us a color factor. So here we need to, from action import action, from state import state, from home import home, from market import market. And we're doing all this because it wouldn't import these before. I can actually make this bigger, and then we can move this all the way down. Excuse me. Make this a bit smaller too. But nevertheless, so now the stateful action, we just broke this code on this other page, but stateful action by default will be undefined and random, so we don't need to define those here. Oh, we can though, that's right. What states do we have? Random picks one of these. Yeah, it picks one of the living choices.
Should I buy a new yoga mat? New mat? New me? Huh.
Okay,
Hey Erica, did my memory do your push turn into
We do need to move this up. We update this action state. We're not back to this point yet, but stateful action. So
You must download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Your chat may be recorded.
phase action taken.
America NA, member FDIC.
So we're updating this action taken now. That's the logic. And then it's no longer action taken. It's action and state. And the state let's find a better name for this. What is a good word for something that has some action and some state? Entity is not the word that we want here. Less personified, more stateful. Process. That is actually a decent name. We already have agent. We did actually have an agent. We could do agent. Agency. That actually would be the right word. Agency. Or a component. We could call it component. Or module or element. Define element and agency. Element, a fundamental, essential, or integral part of something. More definitions of both. Agency is the capacity or state of acting or exerting power, action, or intervention to produce a particular effect. So I think agency is the right term. And we'll just call it agency. And then instead of, it's just self-action. And then now our azimuth has agency. Now we could initialize it here. Now we don't have market home. We do need move action because that's directional. That is, this is actually our azimuth stuff. So we can move this here now. We can move that there actually. We can actually move this to the end. Gender count. I love that people could get offended by this when this is literally just alternating between male and female. So I have to keep a global gender count to have a 1-to-1 ratio. We could implement a random function here, and we did do that before, but it's just more compute than necessary. This is the simplest way to just have an even distribution, and then we allow the generating to be random. If anything, this is more equal than any other implementation method that you could have, because I'm not restricting character traits to males or females. A female might inherit the traits of that male, and the male might inherit the traits of that female. So I'm just keeping my initial start count of males to females consistent by just counting by one. Yeah, anyway.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 and up to $1 off per savings and more inspiring flavors. Kroger, worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. No restrictions apply.
And remember, you can save when you shop at Kroger's. Just buy 6 or more participating sale items and save 50 cents each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Cool, cool, cool. Give me a second. I'm trying to like catch up on a couple things. I guess this could be entertaining to look at, right? Anyway, Anyway, yeah, shit fire, shit fire. Ah, sorry. Shit fire. So we got this like agency thing plugged in. So now our azimuth should have agency, but that's not right. Our unit should have agency. So we need to move that. That's cool. We actually pulled all of that code back out of here now. So action, our unit. Our unit has agency. Where is this at? State. Oh, we don't have state here anymore. Cool. So we just broke the whole program. But we cleaned up like 2 things at once. So now it's just agency, right? On the agency level, we have to from agency import agency. Then where'd our terminal go? Can't open main because I'm not in the right folder. Gender count is used prior to global declaration. How is that possible? That doesn't even make sense. Oh, here, duh. Ah, that's right. That's why we had to put it at the top. That is why, unless we determine that elsewhere, but it has to be on the unit level for a cell, because actually cell shouldn't be here at all. We need to take all this code. Let's just pack it all up. Take all this. It needs to go on the unit level, not this level. And then this one we can just call super. I always forget. Yeah, super. There you go. I didn't know you could do it like that. Meth. Define meth. For method? Super meth. Arg. It's fucking great. Oh, wow. I'm tired, y'all. Shit, I need to stay off Discord sometimes. Does the ethics matrix take an ID? I don't think it does. Let's peek the definition. Yeah, no, it don't. We don't even need the ID here now. This is at the unit level, which makes more sense. We can still call it here though, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because, well, we should be doing that everywhere. We should be saying unit everywhere we call it from. This should actually be log level. Oh, we have to return the damn string. Okay. Shit. Azimuth. We need to go over here to unit and make sure we do this whole process with the cell. And then we say azimuth in it. This global gender count comes here. We already got that. Yay, we get to cross one off the list. Agency. We don't need that here anymore, or the cell. We need all three of these in our other function though. The unit. We don't need the encoder, state, or ethics matrix here though, because those exist at the other level now. So unit type is here, agency is here, azimuth is already here. We will have to fix all of these states. I don't think we're doing it like this anymore. I think our code is about to get really clean and simple. We gotta skip this ad too. Shit. Right, so we get rid of this one. We've already got the cell there. And then the age can come here now. If we add age in our learning, it becomes a gradient. Cannot import market because of a circular dependency now. So agency. Let's see. Let's get rid of action and agency. No, we need agency. Let's get rid of the move action. And let's get rid of state. Move action was partially initialized. Okay, cool. We're tracking things down now. So why are we circular depending on ourselves here? This should be action, import move action from state, import state. And it's just action now. Oh, move action comes from direction. We can import it from here though, I think. Yep. Then let's rename move action everywhere that it is to direction. Replace all. Now target action. See, now we've messed it up. It's not target action though. It should actually just be so it could be warning, this could be any type that has an XY method. So we actually need to change target action to action target, because this is our target, not the action. This is actually the target. The target is some random direction at this moment. But eventually this target selection will give us either a direction, or it could be some other type that gives us an XY directly. So there's kind of like these overlap between types. Cannot import state because of circular dependency, or it looks like it doesn't even have a state. Home. Oh, okay. So agency now. Home has an agency. Interesting. Agency equals agency. And then when we go here, it's undefined, and the state is, do we have an undefined state? We should. Undefined equals 1, none. Yeah, we're gonna break it. Oh, we can't use none. Undefined. That's what it is. Do. Okay, we're gonna just like keep fixing our way out of this hole of problems that we've got. We've got agency, circular dependency. Oh, because agency is importing home as well.
Auto insurance that flexes is made to fit. That's what we're made for.
Okay. We will actually use the state, but it comes from state like that. Even though we just broke that for no reason. So agency cannot import market because market is also has a broken cannot import market from partially initialized module market. Oh, my head. shit, fire. Cannot. We need to zoom out a little bit. So we import the world, we import the market here in society. So it's a double import in society. So we need to take the market and home out of here. So we need to explicitly import those other places. Yes, we need to be very explicit when we use these other places. Agency should be able to have... No, it's not agency, is it? And then we need to do this one by itself. Oh, we're already in society, so we just do home. Yeah. Now the unit has a direct import. That... See, because all of these have to be connected, but they have to be directly connected. Look at that, look at that. So then everywhere imports it the same way. They all have to import it directly. We probably could have moved state to society level, but it's an individual level, so... There we go. This is where we wanted to get to. So now it's not update azimuth. This is fucking cool. It's update, what did we call it? It's not genetics. It's not the unit. It's the agency now. Has update action space. Update action state. That's dope as shit. That is fucking dope. Oh. So all it does is it looks if we're doing something and it updates our action. And so this is our unit actually in the game, in the world. Yeah. Cool. And it's actually at the unit level now. We have agency, and this is our agency. So now we break it. Now we actually break it, and then we hook it back up, and it should be working. So if self is in state dead, so let's do this. If self dead, and then let's close all of these. Let's do something really cool. Update action state, and then we update state. And then we would update the rewards, but we're already calling that inside update state. And then we could update our ethics. These are static consequences due to world conditions of the slope of the integrity compassion plane. Yeah, it is a plane. It actually would be a grid in that way. This is pretty cool. Whoa, creating 1,000. Oh, because it's 100 by 100. Yeah, it really does go that far. So in our, let's close some more of these. Sorry, distracted. These are distracting me. It gets overwhelming when you have too much stuff. Society, forget about society. We don't need main either. So yeah, we have action, we have agency, we have azimuth and a unit. This is the order they make sense in my head too. So when we update action space, I feel like we should, yeah, we should do it. We do have to have the society level, not the market, the society level. So this is where we would say unit coordinate society. Look, we're gonna create update selection. And we're gonna put this whole thing there. If unit is dead, we continue. Else, unit update. And then here at the unit level now we've been avoiding creating a single update function. Define update self. So this first thing we do is coordinate, then we update action state, and then we update our state, and then we update our ethics. Self agency update action state. There we go. Now that makes sense. That's cool. We move that out of the calling function. That's so funny. This would never work in like a C-type programming language because, sorry, I didn't mean to whistle. I'm not saying that it's better or worse. I prefer statically typed and strongly typed languages, but being able to call variables that don't exist here, to be able to call target reached and moving and all of that, the correct way to do it would be to list them out everywhere, but oh, they won't work in agency unless we inherit it. So we do have to inherit it. Interesting. So a unit does need agency as a, yeah. So this was a consequence of needing access to unit parameters. Not a design choice. We will leave that. And then now, so agency having state and action should work other places too. I wanted these to be members, but so then here, define dead, and then we'll just do we'll do our logic here. These will give us, we'll just keep simple Boolean functions to make cleaner code. State is not defined. We will do self.alive. Then we don't have to import state everywhere. We can actually stop importing it. Define alive, self. return so dot state. What are we trying to? Oh, if we end up in this state of contentment, like it's really hard for us to stay in this. We can choose to be in a state of alive, and then we will have some. We might have Wu Wei. That's if we chose to do nothing. What would you call this? What would we call this? What would you call a function that simply checks if you have reached the target? Personify it. Sentinel. Probe. No, could say report. We could just say arrive. That's a good term. So here we are self-broke. Self-hungry. Self-tired. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Tired. Come on now. I love GPT for stuff like this because there's no point in me typing out the whole thing. Save me way a lot of time. Let's say debug. This is fine as a debug statement. I've been not using the appropriate terms. Look at that. Self-die. Define die. This is some of my... Look at that. I said our code would get really clean. Look at that. Cool. Um... Yeah, I think this is good. Hmm. So there's two different systems at play here. Yeah, I wanted to take another snippet of this other code. So I was just thinking about training this thing, so we're gonna have to think of something clever on how to train the Q table, because we're gonna have a pink background, that's fine. Boy, that's red. That's better. So if we have, like, we have our input states. And then they're gonna go into this, like, neural network. We're gonna have all these crossover connections. We're gonna have our 7 little nodes in here. We're gonna flatten this down. And then we're gonna output this into our different states that we can be in. So we can be hungry, we can be tired. All it's gonna do is it's gonna decide what state we're in. Whether we're hungry, tired, horny, broke, or what's the other one? I don't know what we'll just call it content. I don't know what it is. Alive, I think. Nothing state. I don't remember what we called it. But the second set of this is that then whichever choice we pick from here, that one choice gets fed into a system down here with some of these states that we use to pick up here, and we'll put that in a table. And then based on this state, and we have some output state that we've already selected, we feed this back in. This becomes a loop, because we're going to have our targeting pool. This is our pool of decisions, our 3 targets and their values. So the magnitude of these also factor in on this side, and that's where these actions, this is our targeting system. Our targeting system is going to be plugged into the Q table alongside the choice. So the choice from here will also, this choice, this is a horrible drawing, but it will also end up here in this targeting system, or rather we'll end up with a choice and a action. The thing is, if we do this every time, like if we do it every, I don't know, 60 times a second, even just like plus 0.1 will explode. So we need to do like, I'm not sure. We'll have to come up with something. I don't really know. But let's see, does it even work? If it doesn't work, okay. Our guys aren't randomly doing anything. We are able to select something. Cannot compare cell. Selecting new. So we didn't know how to handle this before. cannot compare it, but the other one, we're gonna drop this back in here too. Instance. We're gonna call it cell instance. We'll drop that in there too. I'm trying to see why we're hitting this so many times. It is a cell. That's because homes are cells. Not sure why we're comparing all of these. Oh, because we have to fill it. Drop first. Why do I not see like log selected IDX pool
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices. With
in self.pool.
$100 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more in
Now in self pool, so we can just log the whole thing.
everyone. Restrictions apply.
So we selected home. Now we've got 3.
Store-wide. Look up locked-in low prices tags and enjoy extra savings throughout the store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Where is this at? Comparing. This is verbose. There we go. I don't really like that color, but it is what it is. I feel like alert should be like, I don't know. So we are dropping them. What are we not? We're just not self moving. If we're moving, then move. Moving towards 0, 0. We never setting the target direction. We call coordinate here. Let's log this. Log warning. So we're not moving anywhere. So we need to see something else. So when we pull first or second, what do we do with coincidence? Self target selection equals self return how about this? Target found. If target found is not none, orient to some target found. Look at that. Look at how perfect that is. Can to do determine if we need this as a parameter. Actually, we could probably just look it up right now. Where else do we use this? Target selection. To do to duplicate. It's in the engine as well. It's all over the place. We want it because we want to be able to keep the selection, but we could and separate the mouse. Yeah. Whoa, look at that. 8 is not a valid direction. How do we keep anything up here? Go to definition, from value, log, we are in the direction, so from logger, import log and log level. Let's see if we got a warning. Finding direction from 0, 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I knew it had to be I-1. But it can't be, but it has to be, because -1 would be nowhere. Which is right, we want to see if this thing will go. Boom, look at that, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is amazing. Look at that. Look at that. That's fucking amazing. That's so awesome. So I don't. Some of them could be hitting their targets actually, or they might be. They might be trying to get it and they can't figure out how to get it. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, this is so awesome. So I'm gonna we can figure that out later. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Man, this is fucking cool. Like I've actually done this without AI so far. We actually still don't have AI. We just have random shit happening. Our calculations are a little bit off. They're also not going towards like my selection. Yeah, this is awesome. So I wanted to pull up some more code real quick though. Oh, this is so cool. So I can like take this video now and we can just put it right here.
Handpicked or designed by people who bring their whole hearts to their small businesses. Keep commerce human. Discover small businesses on Etsy.
That's dope. This is cool as shit, because, like, this is my randomness function. Like, oh, where'd my video go? Why do they keep disappearing? I don't understand that. Let's try this. Come on now. Yeah, I think it should just stay there. And this is cool as shit. It just keeps, my video keeps disappearing. It's so weird. Might have to like restart it or something. But anyway, yeah, I'll let it run one more time. Wonder why they're not making it to their target. We need to trigger rewards when they get there, though. And then we need to make them die before they get there because they're changing their minds too much. Then we want to spawn random values, random interference. We don't want to hard code these things. We want to just tell this thing to explore all the options. But yeah, the thing that we've been trying to do here, which makes it look cool, is, well, we're considering cutting this map into grid squares, I guess you could say. But we didn't want to make our agents have to figure out how to navigate. So we just built in a really clever directional vector that obviously is not working properly. Not really sure. It looks like
Savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring.
I'm not sure if it's just not choosing the right action. But I mean, it shouldn't have to choose an action. It's not action based.
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Finding direction from 0, 1, moving towards -1. Okay, let's look at that. Move map. So it went backwards 1. So what we have to do, we have to say none, none. And then we have to move this one to 0, this one to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're still going to go out of range. But we have to get rid of this -1, I think. I think that's what we have to do. 9 is not a valid direction. So I don't understand 601. So this is nowhere. Oh, that is the first one. That is nowhere. Okay. There we go. They keep going past it. Can't tell if they've reached their target. We're gonna give them a content state. We're gonna call it yoga. When they wake up, their agency, wherever it is, define yoga, self state equals alive, and then self action equals undefined. Where is our encoder?
The robots have gotten pretty good at what
Encoder state alive. So state should not exist here. And content and Wu Wei.
Discover hand-blown glassware, recreate furniture, personalized jewelry,
All of this actually
designed artwork, and so much more. So the next time
should be here.
for someone special, choose extraordinary items from small businesses. Keep commerce human. Discover small businesses on Etsy.
Targeting system. Part of the engine. But targeting systems and ethics and all of learning actually should be part of our agency as a society. Yeah, as an agency, yeah, we want to move all of it. That's great. Get rid of those, I guess, and that. Yeah, I don't know why we just did that, but this felt right. Because a unit is here, all of these things go together. Because our encoder now is going to become part of our agency. So, from learning dot we can't do that. We can just import the encoder like that, I think. From learning, import encoder state. See if we broke anything. Yeah, there's no engine learning. Now it's just agency. No targeting. Oh. No module import targeting. Agency.learning is not a package, Society, agency. Okay, where are we at? Let's close up all this stuff. Let's try to narrow it down. So we're in society. We're in the agency. We're at the Azimuth. The Azimuth has a learning. There we go. Look at that. That makes sense now. Now it's here. Now it's all here. Now these things are actually making sense. Main does not have an engine. Learning, network, test DRL. Let's get rid of all of these actually. We don't even need that. We don't need any of this. Because we're working again. This is amazing to me. That's pretty fucking cool, I think. Hey,
Get your YouTube Music Premium. It has a photography.
I miss chat. I feel bad actually. Sorry for anybody that was tuned in and missed out. I totally didn't see chat. I wish there was like a better alert system. Or integration even. Ah, cool. I didn't realize. Let's pause our music. I'm actually watching this dude.
What brought you over to the Kick website, man? Just curious. What is this new MMO? New MMO is new massive multiplayer online game. The new MMO we're gonna play is Throne of Liberty. It's got a playtest right now. You can actually play by going to the Steam page. I'll link it if you're on PC. I don't know if it's on console. There's a possibility it is on console. But if you go to the Steam page and click the green button request access, they usually just give you access right away.
So that's cool. I need to figure out how to set up.
Actually, stream this up, just stream my audio channel.
That's so dumb. Anyway.
Did you start on Kick? Did you just come here to stream, or did you come here for a different reason? Yeah.
Let's see. Alright, Co. And YouTube sucks.
EA Sports College Football 2025, is that out?
That's funny. This dude's actually, oh, he's,
YouTube sucks. I'm deaf stroking right now. Yeah, YouTube, I
That's
don't know,
cool.
YouTube is hit and miss. YouTube is hit and miss. I've had some good luck on YouTube. I've had some really good streams on YouTube. My first YouTube stream, we were sitting at like a little bit over 100 people. I don't know what happened. I was I'm dead struggling right now. Are you shooter? Shooter. Are you coming to lead the guild? Actually, I gotta give guild league to Dean.
Goon and juice. This dude's proud. I want to figure out how to do that. How do you,
I'm level 16 with like 50k. We're streaming YouTube right now, but it's on its way off. Okay, I got you. Goon and juice almost ready.
how do you,
Donald's almost done. Lead the game is crazy. You gotta lead the guild, man. Lead us in the battle.
how do we do that?
What's up, Petty? I do, cause like, okay, on the 23rd, this game will go away. This game will be gone. So, you know, and then it'll cost $40 when it comes out.
Okay. I didn't know you were here.
Without moving or showering. There's no reason to grind it for the playtest.
Let's see, what's the simulation? So I'm trying to build
And just playing, and like,
an AI to see if it,
just kind of playing.
how it, if it can learn to balance eating
I'm already at that point where I just want to play as much as I
and
can.
trading to not run out of food or money.
Our main cast member years ago.
I'm turning this dude off. No disrespect, Jake. Let's see. So I'm trying to build an AI to see if it can learn to balance eating and trading to not run out of food or money. And if it can learn to not die, Emily, are you? If you're in the chat, I can actually just explain it to you instead of typing. I see I've got a couple viewers. I don't want to read myself typing and then type it out in chat too. I really want to figure out how to get the chat to pop up on the screen like that. Like that's, especially if I could read it while I'm here. Hey, okay, cool. So my idea is that if we like, let's take a screenshot of this. This is like the easiest way I could explain it, I think. We pull up GIMP again. If we, come on now, there we go. So my idea is if we have some males and some females, if the machine learning can, if it's broke, if it can learn to correlate being broke with having low wealth. Because we've programmed this market to where it has a rule that when this agent gets to the market, if it's broke, then it's just gonna sell doesn't really have anything. The idea is that we could potentially implement food and money as constructs, because right now all we have is an energy level and a money level. So the concept is, can it learn to associate the market with either eating or selling? Does that make sense? Can this thing learn how to balance food and work and not die? Because the longer it lives, the more rewards it gets. So the higher, we're basically incentivizing this thing and saying you get a higher reward if you can live longer. And if we can figure that part out, then we can start changing the world and making it more complex and saying that maybe to get food they need to farm. Maybe once they get a certain level of money, they'll get a house, and then they can store food in there. Will they learn to farm and then store their food at their house? Or if they have a certain level of money and energy, they can build a market and they can collect taxes. And so it's basically like building out a video game and then telling this thing if it can learn how to navigate the society that it's in to optimize its reward, how will it go about evolving? The other side of this too is we're building another factor into this. So agents get rewards. We're gonna want to try to minimize rewards. We're gonna want to make rewards really small eventually, and also use negative rewards. If we like the closer the reward range, the easier it is to teach these things right and wrong. It's a lot easier to tell the difference between 0 and 100 than to tell the difference between like 12,700 and 12,800. So if we can keep the numbers smaller, not without mistakes. So right now, all they're doing is just picking a random state. Like they're either broke, hungry, horny, or tired. So that's the only state they have. And then they can just pick a random target. They actually have a pool of 3 targets. So they can look at 3 targets at once, and then they randomly can just pick one. So we need to fix that process as well. But here's the thing. So right now, if they go to the market and they're tired, nothing happens. Like we want these things, or if they go to the market and they're broke, but they actually have money, then that's fine. But if they're actually out of energy and they think that they're broke, they sell their food, they'll die. So they need to learn to be broke and at the market. And those are the 2 states that go together, and that's how they get money. Like, we want to try to basically just define these rules. Like, there's negative rewards, right? Here, let me go through the code. Like, going through the code actually will make the most sense. So we create the world. When we run the world, we have this run loop. That's the game visual that you see. When we run that loop, we update our world, and when we update the world, the first thing we do is we update all the units. So when we go through these units, every unit gets updated. Pretty simple. The update functions up here at the top. So the first thing we do is like we try to see if we've reached a target or where a target is. We try to figure out where we are at actually. And then if we have a target selected, then we'll try to like coordinate where we're at in relation to that target, what the next move would be. This is what's broken right now. Then for our action state, what we're actually trying to determine is, like I was saying, if we're at home and we're tired, then we should actually be sleeping, not eating. If we're at the market and we're hungry, then for now we're just saying we're eating. This is where we could implement something like buying, we could build an economy. Like, the more this thing learns, the more complex we can make the society. Yeah, and then from there, though, this is where it gets kind of cool, is that, so this is where the rewards come in. So we update our state, so like every turn we get older. And all that does is it adds 1 to our age, which comes in later. Like, this whole thing is like pretty complicated, but it's not that complicated in theory. But we lose energy every turn, and then life sucks if we're not content. So we lose a little bit of happiness. And so we're automatically creating these negative rewards. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but with this, we're automatically creating negative rewards except for age. The reason that's relevant is because something else that the characters can do is they can mate. So if a male and a female learn that they can target each other and be horny, then they could potentially mate, and there could be a potential for reproduction. And then that could affect things and how that goes. And so the reason that's significant is because there's a second part of this program where when we do our run function in the world, every time we call this loop, we do this as long as the engine is running. The engine is continuously running. Whenever all of the if they're all dead, we could say all. We'll just do that. We'll just leave that alone. Actually, no. Let's change this. We'll change this to if self dead, and then we'll say if all of the units are dead. There we go. So if all of the units are dead, like this is literally the code. If all of the units are dead, then we repopulate. Then we keep going. We update the statistics. We don't have to do this every loop. We could pull this outside of the loop, and we probably should to do. Should move this to a separate call on repopulate. I mean, really, we could just put it right here. The reason we're doing it every turn, though, is for our user interface. But anyway, my whole point was that we update our statistics here, right? Let me zoom out a little bit. We get the minimum and maximum health, the minimum and maximum wealth, the minimum and maximum reward. We also do this for age, but something else that we're going to do is the number of generations. And so let me put it this way. Let me draw a picture, it'd be the easiest. If we have a bunch of agents, let's say this, let's just use this. Say like 3 of these are the oldest generation. We might want to pick those and reproduce with those. And if this guy was the happiest, we might want to pick him. Maybe these 2 are the happiest. We're going to pick these 2. And then maybe one of these reproduced a lot. So that's something else to consider. Most children. What we're doing is we're seeing if this thing can live, like, because this one's already dead. So if we can get the longest living ones, like we cancel this one out, we're only picking the ones that live the longest. We're trying to like teach the algorithm to live for as long as possible. And then every time a population dies, we pick either the one that has the most offspring or the one that has the most, is the oldest generation. And we want the most of the oldest generation because those are probably going to be the most evolved if we pass down genetics. So we're trying to see if we can simulate society, like if these things can learn to eat and reproduce and build farms or whatever else they need to do, trade. And then there's one other aspect to this, is that based on certain world conditions, we're trying to program in this concept of ethics, where our agents can have a compassion factor and an integrity factor. So, thanks. I appreciate the support, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. It's just this concept that I had. Like, honestly, this whole thing started with a joke. The conversation was, what if an AI could learn to balance eating and fucking? Like, and not die? How many of them would, what people say, unalive themselves, even though they're not real people or anything, they're just blitz on a screen? But like, how many would learn certain behaviors or strategies to stay alive, and then if they could reproduce and they got a reward for mating or having sex, or if they could partner, like all of a sudden this idea grew into like, okay, well, we could reward people for being honest and have honest characteristics determine like different types of rewards. And deception and deceitful people, these aren't real people, these are programs. But we could encourage certain types of behaviors. And by doing that, we could define this matrix here, where you could gain integrity or you could gain compassion. And then we can evaluate potential based on if the integrity is within a certain range. Like people will often operate with people that have higher levels of integrity if it's not too high. So if it's not too high, if it's within the same range, and then our tolerance is much lower actually for lower people with lower integrity. So if we are outside of the range, if that person's integrity, we can actually do it this way. So if our integrity is too low or too high, then the potential drops. And then we can use this potential reward to kind of like segregate characteristics, I guess you could say. But we can use this potential as a factor for like in trade. Like if we develop an actual economy in this thing and we say that these two agents can trade, somebody with a lower integrity might get a better deal, but somebody with higher integrity or higher compassion will get a higher opportunity. So somebody, I don't know how to put it. If someone has lower integrity, they might get a higher percentage, but the offer they get's going to be lower. So think about like 70% of $100 is $70, but 30% of $1,000 is $300. So the person with the higher level of compassion and the higher level of integrity will get less, but they'll get less of a greater amount. So that's how we can use this potential number to determine Some agents might prefer more immediate rewards. We don't really know. So we're just kind of like throwing in all of these extra ideas to shape the world, and then we can just do random. We just literally get a random number. And yeah, that's how we get this compassion and integrity system. And you can see it here, actually. Are we not logging the unit anywhere? That's super interesting. Ethics. Names. Right here, right? String for the unit. We're not logging the unit type. That's super interesting. I can't believe we're not logging that. It almost looks like none of our debug. Okay, it is. There it is. Yeah, anyway, if you don't mind me asking what the problem with the internet, because, yeah, I don't know. I keep seeing that too. My own internet's lagging. Maybe I have too much stuff open. Let me close some stuff out. Maybe, I don't know. Could also be my machine. Yeah, I definitely appreciate the support. This is like a silly pet project, but genetics, self-alive. Oh, let's say self-dead. There we go. Yeah. So I can't tell. Let's go to settings real quick. And let's change this grid size to 10. Is the internet any better? Is it still lagging? We'll set the grid size to 10. We'll set the population to 4. And number of jobs 1. And number of homes 2. Cool. I also wanted to set the frames per second to about half of what it is now. It doesn't look like it's doing as much as it did when we had a bigger map with more of them. Maybe we can try something in between. Let's do a grid size of like 20, population of 8, 2 jobs, and 4 houses. What's crazy is like this code and this program could be put together with so many other things. Let's cut this down even slower. There we go. Okay, so we're not like reaching our target. We're doing something really wrong. Damn, it's like, can't tell if it's my feed or we're not doing something right, or we're going right through the target and I'm not seeing it. I mean, this looks cool, but it's not really what we want the application to do. We need these things to get to the target. We're gonna have to turn off all of this logging. Average reward, we're stuck at 9 health. Can't tell, I mean, it looks like they're reaching their target sometimes. Oh, some of them did change their target. Oh, some of them are actually taking the bait. That's cool as shit. That is pretty cool. Um, cool. My internet's cutting out, and I'm actually gonna get off here, but yeah, I'm not really even sure. I know one thing we could do real quick before I get off here is we could in the update loop we could where are we at? Society. No, we want to go to world. We want to draw the units. We can draw the units after we draw the markets and homes, and then they won't look behind. They won't be behind it, so we can see if they're actually reaching the target. So they're not actually hitting. Some of them are, but some of them are going through them. This project has been going on for like 6 months, maybe. Or the idea started about 6 months ago. This specific like program right here, I've been working on for maybe 2 weeks. But I've written every bit of this from scratch, other than the graphics engine. But like the looks like it looks like my stream disconnected. Or maybe my connection dropped, I don't know. But yeah, I've been working on this for, I don't know. I think I answered your question. I don't understand why we're like wrong. We're off by 1. We're choosing the wrong option. There's something where we are failing to. Let's close all of these. Sorry about that. Something is not right here, maybe. Let's find this guy. Track. We're not calling best target, so direction from value. So we are finding the direction from the value. So we are getting the right. It's stupid that we're even doing this though, but we're really only doing that to give us this XY function. We definitely need to not be doing this. We definitely need to refactor this. This was like a really short hacky. Is my full-time job related to computer science? Yes. Yeah, I build cloud systems and automation systems and mobile apps. And this is just a fun project for me. Up left, left, back left, down, down right, right, up, up. Yeah, what about you? What do you do, Emily? So this isn't right. Moving from 15 to... Target direction. Let's look at what we do at target direction. Target direction gets dropped down. When we move, we lose energy. Cool. College. What are you going to college for? Quantum informatics. That sounds data sciencey. Do you do a lot of statistics? Quantum informatics. Or is that a business? Is that a business degree? It sounds very technical. It sounds like physics is involved. I don't like that. I mean, I like that they're moving, but I don't like that I don't know why. Finding direction from 0, 0. Moving to -1, -1. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I'm curious what quantum informatics is. Quantum physics and quantum computation. What even is quantum computation? See, I don't understand this. Finding direction from 0, 0. Then moving to 0, 0, right? Finding direction from 0, 0. Moving to -1, -1. Which should be here. I don't care if it's See, why would we be moving towards a different direction? Because of the action target? I don't even know what the action target is. Connecting bytes to real world like space and cancer. I don't understand how they connect. I mean, like, I understand how computers work pretty well, I think. Quantum physics. See, I don't understand why would we be moving? What do we call coordinate at? When we update, we coordinate. What do we do before we update? Apparently I've got this living multiple places. That's fine. But simply update. So we don't call update. Oh, we call unit update. Why do we have this function? I mean, that's not it either, but they're doing better. Kind of, not really. I know it was where we were just at. It's that whole update. When we update the function. Oh, it was supposed to be unit. So dot update selection, target selection, unit and target selection. There we go. Boom. We could actually move this to the unit level. We can go to the unit. We can say random target. We'll say update selection. Get rid of that guy. Replace this with self. And then at the, not the grid level, society level, we say unit update selection with the target selection. Now our code makes sense. For dead, we don't do anything. Otherwise, we update our selection and then we update our unit. We actually need to update the unit and then update our selection. We want to kind of like append that process. I'm not really going to get into why, but preference. This update function. So we coordinate. This is where we're messing up. So for some reason, moving from to this action target. So when we set the action target with the directional vector, we get the direction. This sucker should return. So this is what I was saying. This would never work in good programming. So you have to use qubit with a quantum computer to enable the coherent superposition. So I have a theory, if you're still here, Emily. I have a theory on a system that